call yourself a bitch. This is an episode about empowering yourself, funny enough. You see, of course, I would get this one from Wes Watson once again. And I love this one so much because when you call yourself a bitch, you are implying that you have way more capacity than you are currently showing. You know deep down that you can do more, you can use your time better, you can be putting more effort, and you are a bitch for not doing so. You already have the capability you're already capable of executing perfect days. It's already within you. And every time you don't execute on it, you're being a bitch. And when you can have that attitude where you have a non-negotiable attitude towards actualizing your goals and becoming who you came here to be every single day. Because if you partake in if you take correct action every single day and actually use your time effectively and put a solid conscious effort in, put a solid rep in everything you do, then you've become your 10.0 self in that moment, right there and then. And then becoming completely your 10.0 self, really embodying your higher self, who you came here to be. That is just stringing a series of moments together of kicking ass and of not being a bitch. The thing you're going to regret the most is when you don't put in that work. And there's so many times we will naturally lead into the comfort. We will naturally be like, well, I don't want to do it. But you know deep down that you putting in that action is going to help you move that needle just a little bit more, help you get towards where you want to go just a little bit more. It's funny, today I noticed a very specific situation where my mind was like fighting with itself, where I know I want to be doing more workouts throughout the day, just a little quick, 50 push-ups here and there, just greasing the groove. And I noticed like I'm having like conversations with myself in my mind, just like, oh yeah, when am I need to be doing more of these things. I need to be working at more intervals. But then it's like, well, when? Like, you got to find the perfect time. It's like, well, no, it's just whenever the time comes, whenever you think of it, that's when you do it. And it's like that resistance, even to that pattern of starting that new habit, that resistance is you being a bitch. Because that's being less than who you need to be. It's calling yourself out, rather than someone else calling, because the best thing is, especially when it comes to addiction, anything, when it comes to you being less than who you came here to be, calling yourself on it is going to be the best cure, rather than having someone else call you out. Because you can always just close your mind to them. But when you're talking to yourself and you're like, yeah, no, I'm not being strong enough here. I'm not being proactive enough. I'm being a baby about it. I'm not going in hard. I'm not putting what effort I could be putting in. when you can call yourself out in this way, and you have the courage to call yourself out in this way, you're going to create a momentum around getting past those emotional roadblocks that will stop most people in their tracks. Every wall that you come up and every emotional roadblock that you come up against and you actually go over, that's your level up. That's where you're going to be soaring above other people. That's where you're going to be getting ahead of other people, because when you hit that roadblock and still went over it, someone else was stopped by that roadblock. Someone else got stopped by it. And so it is in those moments that you want to be extra vigilant. You want to be looking for those moments where you are half-assing it, where you're not showing your gratitude for this life, for this moment, for this day, through your actions, where you just want to kick your feet up and be lazy. You can't afford this. If you really want to create something amazing, you can't afford kicking your feet up. You have to be putting in that reps. You got to be utilizing the pockets of time throughout your day as much as you can. And when you don't do it, and when you just think you're just going to distract yourself with some YouTube or TikTok or internet browsing or whatever, you're being a bitch. When you're not focusing on creating who you came here to be, you're being a bitch. And it's funny too, because unless you have what you want, why are you doing anything else? That's what puzzles me a lot. Where, for me, I want to redefine what focus even means. Where focus is around completely redesigning your entire life such that you're putting the maximum amount of time towards creating what you want, sacrificing everything else towards creating what you want. Because what good use is your time if you're not using it in this manner? You're not going to feel good about just wasting your time away, distracting yourself. You're a total bitch if you do. And you're going to be left with regrets, and you're going to be left with no results. You know, even if you're already in your 20s, you're already thinking to yourself man, if I just started working out when I was 16 every day, or man, if I just started eating right, or man, if I just started studying or practicing this skill every day, where would I be now? Well, guess what? The individual that's 5 years older than you right now, your future self, that individual is looking at you right now. And my question is, what is that person going to say? Are they going to be like, oh man, I wish I wasn't such a bitch, and I wish I just focused on what I was meant to be focusing on? Or did I really put in that hard work and I'm really reaping the benefits now? It's your call. So if you're not fully putting in that work for creating what you want in this life, call yourself a bitch for not doing it. Because you are being one. You're not respecting yourself enough. You're disrespecting yourself, and you're disrespecting reality. And for those that this message hits, you're also disrespecting God. So, focus today. You know those moments where you can be doing more. You know those moments where you can be putting in more effort. putting in that more time. And it is up to you on whether or not you are going to make that conscious choice. And if you just stagnate, that's also a choice as well. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one.